Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the world of home automation with me, your host, Paul Hibbert. Is Google Home worth it? No, it isn't. Two reasons. One, they won't send me one because they're big jerks and I hate them. And two, this. Alexa, ask Google to talk to Domino's.
Sure, here's Domino's.
Who's that?
Hi, Dom here. Would you like to place an order or track an order?
In case it's not painfully obvious who that is, it's the Google Assistant talking to me via Alexa thanks to Ross, who bought you the Google search skill. He's upped his game considerably because this thing is phenomenal. Now, I appreciate if you're a Google Home fan, Google Home is obviously reacting a lot faster to that. This, if anything, is a bit of fun and a serious add-on for anyone who is an Alexa user and doesn't want to pod out for a Google Home. There are some caveats, of course. If you look in the description for this video, you'll find some information down there for you tinfoil hat brigade, because of course your voice is going to more than one organization when you do this. And second of all, for everybody, this will cost you a tiny amount of money. Don't switch off. I know some of you are going, oh, no, I'm not doing that. Seriously, tiny, tiny, tiny. If you create a skill on the marketplace as a developer and you give that skill to people, those people use that skill and it costs Amazon some small amount of money in server space. You are the only person going to be using this skill, and therefore the amount of money is minuscule. Basically, if you use it 1,000 times a month, it will cost you $5.20 per year. So it's like nothing. So without further ado, enjoy. Okay, so if it's not blindingly obvious to you already, I am not the creator of this skill. I am giving full credit to this fella, Tartan Guru, whose real name is Ross. I won't give you his surname in case he wants to remain anonymous. He is an awesome dude, super clever, much more clever than I am. But I'm pretty good at teaching people stuff, so I'm doing this video. So first of all, we need to visit github.com/tartanguru/Alexa-assistant, and hit clone or download, and then download zip. So this zip file is required so that we can upload the code to the server at Amazon. And so the first thing I would recommend doing is creating yourself a folder on your desktop called Alexa Google Assistant, or whatever you want to call it, so that you know where this stuff is stored. And then when it's finished downloading, I'm going to show in folder. I'm going to drag that to my Alexa Google Assistant folder, and I'm going to extract the zip files here. So you'll need WinZip if you haven't got it already, or WinRAR or something to unzip this file with. You might find Windows has got its own stuff for doing it, although I've found with very large files, the Windows default stuff has struggled. So if you're having a problem unzipping all this stuff, then you want to get WinZip or WinRAR to do it. So first off, we're going to go to aws.amazon.com. If you've created the Google search skill before, you will have done this previously, or at least you will have visited this site previously. You won't have actually done this. It might be worth deleting the old Google stuff as you go, because this supersedes that if you're a Google skill user already. And you're going to need to sign up if you haven't signed up already. I am already signed up, so I've signed into the console. First thing, and it's super important because I've forgotten on every tutorial I've done in the past to tell you this, you must choose either US East North Virginia, I think that's North Virginia, or EU Island. If you don't pick one of these, if you pick any one of these, this won't work, so don't do that. Pick the one you are closest to. I'm in the UK, so I'm going to pick EU Island. I'm going to go to Services, and then Lambda. You can either search for Lambda in here if you need to. There you go, or you can probably find it. If you've searched for it before like I have, it will be in your history. So I'm going to go to Lambda. And we're going to go to create a new Lambda function. Make sure you're in functions if you're not already. So create a Lambda function. Blank function is the first thing you're going to want to choose. And we're going to choose a trigger for triggering Lambda. Alexa Skills Kit is the thing that is going to trigger our function. So we need to pick Alexa Skills Kit. Next. I'm going to name the function. So I think these things are quite important, the way that you format them, because I believe the code links into a lot of this stuff. So anything that I do, make sure you do it exactly the same way. So Google-Assistant all in lowercase letters. description, Google Assistant with a space, capital G, capital A. Not sure if that's important, but do it anyway. Runtime is going to be Node.js 6.10. If you're watching this several years into the future, perhaps it's changed. If you look at my video description, it will tell you if it's changed. Assume now that it is just Node.js 6.10 as of the 5th of June 2017. Code entry type, you need to choose upload a zip file because we're going to upload that code that we've just downloaded from Tartan Guru's site on GitHub. We're going to click the upload button. And then we're going to find the folder where we created all this stuff. So I'm going to go to my desktop because that's where I put it, and Alexa Google Assistant. Right. This is mega important. If any of you ask me in the comments why this bit's gone wrong, I'm going to come around to your house and wee on your floor. Do not click this. Do not. This zip file, do not upload this zip file. Super important. I asked you to unzip this file for a reason, so you need to pick the folder that came out of your zip file. Not this zip file, not this one, this one. Okay, I think I've said that enough times. And then you want the index zip file that is in here. So out of the files that you unzipped, pick index from the files that you unzipped. Do not pick the original zip file or I will hurt you. Okay, so with that out of the way, we're going to upload that. Okay, the next thing, this is going to be in the description because it's quite a long hyperlink, that one. You can type it all down if you want to pause this video if you prefer, but the link is in my description in the video. If again, you're in the future and for some reason this isn't working, you just need any string generator. Google for a string generator and you will find one. This is the one that we're recommending at the moment. And it just creates a random string of letters and numbers and characters that will work for our purposes because we need this to put into the environment variables. Okay, so the value is the string. The key is S3 underscore bucket, all in capital letters. Again, I don't know if that's important. Probably is though, so do that. Next one is client secret. Sorry, client underscore secret. Client underscore ID. API endpoint. Redirect URL. And our end goal is to fill all these things in. So we have to do a bunch of things to go and find this information. All of this information is done in separate places, and then we paste all that information into this so we can build our Lambda function. So there is one that we can populate straight away, and that is embeddedassistant.googleapis.com. It goes into this one here. API underscore endpoint requires that string of text there. Okay, a bit further down then, handler needs to remain as index.handler. In role, we're going to go to create a custom role. Okay, so you can see that's open up a new browser tab in which we've got to now pick a few options. So make sure that's selected as create a new IAM role. We're going to call the role name Google underscore assistant. If we click on view policy document, we can see some information here now. And we need to click on edit here because we're going to edit the information that's in there. Press OK to this box if it pops up. And we need to empty out all the information that's in this box because we're going to put in our own stuff. So again, this is in the description for this video. So if you need to copy and paste that from the description, please do so. I'm going to press the allow button. And that tab is now closed and we're back to where we were before. You need to open up advanced settings so we can choose some information in here. Under memory, we're going to put in 1536. And we're going to change this 3 seconds to 12 seconds. And then scroll right to the bottom of the page, leave everything else as it is and press next. And then click create function. And this will take a moment or two because what this is doing is it's uploading that zip file that we pressed on a minute ago to tell it to upload. Okay, so you can see, congratulations, your Lambda function has been created. Lucky you'll say. So you're going to need to get yourself a notepad file out. You can do that just by doing that. Here we go. And then you want to paste this in here. So this is our ARN. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of things that we need to collect because we're going to put them into those boxes that I was telling you a little bit about earlier on. So everywhere we've got a blank box, we need to fill that stuff in. So having a notepad file is a good idea. So we've got our first thing, we've got our ARN. Okay, so don't close this window off because we're going to need it again in a little while. I'm going to take a little copy of this. Again, I'm not sure if I'll need it, but I'm going to stick it in my notepad file just to be on the safe side in case we ever need it again. So that was our random string. And I can close that window. Because we're going to have quite a few tabs coming up over the course of this tutorial. So the fewer tabs, the better. So we'll get rid of that one now that I've got it noted down. This one, don't close. Keep this tab open. And we're going to open a new window and go to developer.amazon.com. And this is where we're going to actually build the Alexa skill. So if you're not logged in already, you'll need to. I notice the sign in button has gone behind the English button here. That's really useful. I think if I click on any of these links, there you go, I click sign in. So you'll need to log in with your Amazon details. If you don't have an account already on this portal, you'll need to create an account. Anything that you create portal-wise for Amazon logins, make sure you use the same Amazon login that you used when you set up Alexa originally. So that's like super important. Everything needs to link together. Don't use a different email address. Okay, so I'm now signed in. You need to go to Alexa. Go to the Alexa Skills Kit. In here, if you've created the Google skill previously, you'll need to delete it. Or you're going to need to create a skill with a different name. Otherwise, every time you say ask Google, she's not going to know which one to ask. So if you've got the Google skill already, get rid of it. We're creating a new one. So I'm going to go to add a new skill. Skill type, make sure dotted is custom interaction model. Language, we're going to choose English UK. Name, again, I'm not sure it's hugely important, but I'd recommend using the same one I have. So Google Assistant for Alexa with a capital G, a capital A, and a capital A. Cool. Invocation name, this is what we're going to use to talk to her. So you can choose something else if you want. You could say, ask my mum, and it would go off and ask your mum. Of course, it would actually ask Google. So I'm not going to say ask mum, I'm going to say ask Google. Which just means I need to put in Google. I think it needs to be all in lowercase letters. I'm pretty sure that is important. Leave the audio player setting to no and press save. Then click next. Okay, so in the intent schema box, you need to paste in this. Again, this is in the video description. So just paste that in. And in custom slot types, we're going to put in search in capital letters. And we're going to put in 1, who is the queen? And 2, why is the sky blue? That's all she needs. She's reasonably good at understanding us without having to put in masses of information in here. So just those two things is fine. And then click the add button. Just in case I didn't make it clear, make sure that's capital letters. Add. In sample utterances, you need to put in search intent with a capital S and a capital I, and then a space, and then these funny curly brackets, search, close curly brackets. And then we're going to press save here at the bottom. Okay, then we're going to press next. And we're now on the configuration page. You need to choose AWS Lambda ARN. You need to choose Europe if you're in Europe, and you need to choose America if you're in America. Make sure you choose the relevant one. I won't be in Europe soon, thanks to Brexit. Thanks, Britain. So, right, we need to copy our ARN from our clipboard. So just this bit. And paste it into there. Make sure you select yes for account linking. Okay, we then need to copy these two redirect URLs. And we're going to put those on our clipboard. That's our first one. And this is our second one. So I've blurred out the endpoints to this because hackers might use it to make my house do crazy things and order pizza in my name and stuff. So I'm not going to put those in the video. So I'm blanking these bits out. But you need obviously to put the full URLs in. Okay, you want to leave this tab open, and we're going to open up a new tab and visit somewhere else now. I'm going to go to console.cloud.google.com/project. And then we need to sign in with our Google details. So this isn't our Amazon stuff. This is our Google stuff. So sign in with your Google username and password. If any of this stuff pops up, just press done. If you've never visited this page before, it might ask you to agree to some terms of service. Obviously, agree those terms of service. This is basically linking our Amazon Alexa to our Google API so that she can ask Google questions. Okay, so you need to click on Create a Project. You can call this whatever you want, but Google is going to make it unique by adding some stuff to it, so don't worry when it changes this. It's going to add something on the end of it by the looks of it. So if we hit Create, it takes about 15 seconds for it to create the project, apparently. Up here, you can see we've got a notifications window spinning around. If we click on notifications, you can see it's got Create Project Google. You can see the one that I did 6 days ago when I first set this skill up. So you'll only have the one in here. And we're going to click on Create Project Google. Okay, and this is our project where we can make lots of changes and do lots of things. Okay, again, all these links will be in the description. You now need to visit this link. So each time we open something, leave the tabs open because we need to come back to them eventually. So we're now going to go to the API Manager, and we're going to click this button here at the top that says Enable. Then we're going to click Create Credentials. Make sure Google Assistant API is selected out of this list if it's not already. Where you will be calling the API from, you need to choose Web Server Example Node.js Tomcat. They might have changed their example, but it's going to be web server regardless. You need to pick user data and then click on the What Credentials Do I Need button. In the name, you want to call it Google_Assistant. You can leave this box empty, this authorized JavaScript origins, and we need to take these URLs that we got earlier on. Don't paste it in the authorized JavaScript origins, which I was about to do. Paste it in the authorized redirect URLs. You'll then get a second window, and you'll keep getting windows because Google's going to assume you've got a whole bunch of URLs. You just need to paste in the two, and then you can leave the next one empty. Click the blue Create Client ID button here. So the email address field will auto-populate with your email address. If it gives you something else, obviously you need to choose your Google account. In the product name shown to users, put in Assistant, capital A, and then click the blue Continue button. Click this little blue button here that says I'll do this later. Okay, so click on Google Assistant here, and we want to copy this client ID to a clipboard and add that to our notepad. Okay, same thing for client secret. We need that too. So we're linking all of these things together. So each one of these things needs to be able to talk to one another. And so we're copying their various locations and various secret keys so they can interact with one another to make the skill work. Okay, so we're going to go back to our Alexa skills page where we were creating our skill. So you're going back to here, and we're going to finish a lot of this information off now. So under account linking in the authorization URL, you need to paste this piece of information. So again, this is in my video's description. Delete this from the client ID, and we need the client ID that we pasted in here. So it's this long one here. Our client ID is going in there. In domain list, we need to click on Add Domain, and we're going to put in google.com. And if we click Add Domain again, we get a second box, and in this one, we're going to put in googleapis.com. Under scope, we're going to press Add Scope. I think I did it already by accident, so I've now got two of them. So I'm going to delete that one. Paste that in there. And now, randomly enough, I do need to add another scope, I've just realized. And the second one, I need to paste this in here. So all of these things that I'm pasting, if I haven't got them from my notepad file, then they aren't unique. They're things that anyone can paste in from my video's description. So anything I've pasted in here is from my video description. anything I've fetched from my notepad file will be unique to you, and therefore you need to create them in these other places first. Further down then, you need to make sure auth code grant is dotted out of those two options. The access token URL or URI, I think that is actually, is this information here. So again, you can paste that from my video description. Client secret key, again, is this one from my notepad file. Client authentication scheme, make sure you've got HTTP basic recommended selected. And then again, further down, privacy policy URL, paste that in from my video description again. Okay, press save. Successfully updated the publishing information and then press next. Okay, you don't need to submit this for certification because you're the only person going to be using your skill. You're not creating this for other people to use. And so this tab is no longer required. Everything has been saved. We're just not going to publish it to anybody. So you can now close this window off as long as you've still got everything saved in your notepad file. We're going to go back to our Lambda page again because we're going to make some more changes in here now. We're going to go to the code tab. Okay, so we're going to basically finish off these environment variables now from the things that we've collected. So the client ID needs to go into the client ID field. The client secret needs to go into the client secret field. And the redirect URL, we need the first of these two URLs that we copied earlier. Okay, and then before you do this, make sure you press save, not save and test. So press save. Okay, we need to open another new tab now, and then we're going to go to this address again. Link is in my video description. Again, make sure you're signed in with a Google account that you intend to use. So if you've got more than one Google account, you'll need to select the relevant one. And all we're doing is we're making sure that these toggle switches are all enabled. So mine's already enabled. If yours isn't, enable it. So we need to do so for web and app activity. We need to do so for location history. We need to do so for device information. We need to do so for voice and audio activity. Okay, so finally we need to link the skill to our Google account. And we do that using her. So let's do that now. Alexa, open Google.
You must link your Google account to use this skill. Please use the link in the Alexa app to authorize your Google account.
Awesome. So now we can just open up the app and then we can link it. So I found if I try to do this in the app itself, I can't get it to work for some stupid reason. I'm going to open one more tab. I'm going to visit Alexa's home page on here. By going to alexa.amazon.co.uk. And this takes you to what is basically exactly the same thing as what we've got in the app, but on a web page. And you can see it's asked me for doing the account setup and to link the account. So I've got the option to link the account here. When I do so in the app, it doesn't seem to work. So I'm going to do it here. I'm going to choose my normal Google account. I'm going to press allow. And she should now be linked. Okay, moments of truth. It's been a long and arduous journey. Alexa, ask Google to talk to Domino's.
Sure, here's Domino's.
Hi, this is Dom. Would you like to place an order or track an order?
Cancel. Amazing. It works. It's genius. It's brilliant. And you've got Ross to thank for it. What a guy. Thank you, my friend. This is ingenious and I'm very impressed. Let's just try one more thing before I sign off. Alexa, ask Google who is the best developer in the world.
Sorry, I don't know how to help with that yet.
Ah, well, you're wrong. It's Ross. If you've enjoyed this video, guys, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see some more of this guy, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to help me keep doing what I'm doing, because it's arduous and painful for me, then you can hit me up in my links below and drop me some money on PayPal. I really do appreciate any donations. That's it. See you next time.